Alright, this setup is quite boring, but this will do for now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coach You. To give you a quick introduction, Coach You is about breaking down science to give you the tools and maybe eventually become your own coach. So, I've always been passionate about movement, performance, and how to fuel an active life effectively. The goal I gave myself is to give you a framework and actually cite my sources so you can dive deeper if you want. Today, we are talking about strength training. We'll go through what it is, what makes it tick, and why some people get strong without getting bulky, how to optimize your recovery and volume for the best results. Alright, so let's jump in. What is strength? Here's a definition from Oxford Reference. It's the ability to apply a force and overcome a resistance. Strength is an essential part of physical fitness. The term usually refers to maximum absolute strength, which is the maximum force a person can exert in one effort regardless of body size or muscle size. Now, here's a big question you may have asked yourself if you got some experience with training. Why doesn't strength training feel the same as high rep hypertrophy training? Where is the burn? Where is the sweat? And does that mean it's less effective? The short answer is no, it's not. Strength training targets a completely different system in your body, the nervous system. Think of it as a software that coordinates how your muscles, the hardware, produce force. When you lift heavy, your body recruits fast twitch muscle fibers, the ones that are responsible for explosive power. This process relies on the ATP-PC energy system, which provides a quick burst of energy but only lasts around 10 seconds. After that, your body switches to other systems. But for strength training, those first 10 seconds are critical. This is why we recommend a low rep range, usually between 1 and 5 reps per set, because it's meant to be the max your body can handle in a near max effort. And here's something cool. Strength isn't about muscle size. You can have a lean frame and still outlift someone bulkier. Why? Because strength depends on neuromuscular efficiency, how effectively your brain communicates with your muscles to recruit fibers and generate force. That said, if you consistently train for strength over time, research shows that your muscle will grow. Studies, such as one conducted by Schoenfeld in 2019, found that hypertrophy follows a dose-response relationship, with increasingly greater gains achieved with higher training volumes. Even with low-rep, high-weight training, localized hypertrophy occurs. So while strength is primarily a skill, it still leaves a mark on your physique. And yes, that's also why powerlifters have massive quads. It's not just genetics. Now let's dive into volume, because this is where things get interesting and sometimes a little confusing. Here's a study I love. It's from 2024, so it's super recent, and it was conducted by the Department of Exercise and Science at Florida Atlantic University. They studied over 2,000 participants to analyze how volume, meaning total sets, and frequency, meaning sessions per week, affect muscle hypertrophy and strength gains. Here is what they found. The minimum effective dose for strength was just one weekly set per muscle group, enough for small but noticeable improvements. But beyond 4 sets per muscle per week, strength gains start to plateau. Second found is frequency matters. Higher training frequency positively impacts strength gains, but diminishing returns kick in around 2 sessions per week or more. What does this mean for us? If you want consistent progress, start with 1 to 4 sets per muscle and split it into 2 sessions per week. And you can scale up from there if you pay attention to rest, nutrition, and recovery. The takeaway is low reps with moderate volume are great for strength. The minimum effective dose is surprisingly low, just 1 set per week. So it's all about finding a volume and frequency that fits your schedule. With no surprise, consistency always beats overkill. You don't need to live in the gym to get strong. But living in the gym can be fun and you can use it to improve your technique, so why not? Let's jump into the third section. We discussed the ATP-PC system earlier, which powers your heavy lifts but burns out in 10 seconds. Resting 3 to 5 minutes between sets help recharge ATP stores quickly. But recovery isn't just about between sets rest. Fatigue is complex and involves several systems in your body. You've likely heard of CNS fatigue, the central nervous system fatigue, which is often used as a catch-all term for fatigue not directly tied to muscular or metabolic factors. Let's break it down. CNS fatigue refers to the brain and spinal cord's reduced ability to send effective signals to muscles. It's particularly noticeable after high intensity efforts like max sprints or heavy lifting that require more time to recover. An example comes from Charlie Francis, a renowned sprint coach, who observed that 100% effort sprint could take up to 10 days to recover from, while a 95% effort might require 2 days. While these observations are respected, they aren't based on large scientific studies, but rather on Francis' experience with elite athletes. CNS fatigue happens when the brain's ability to send signals to muscles decreases, often due to changes in neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine, or reduced corticospinal drive, the communication between brain and spinal cords. During intense efforts, serotonin levels rise, leading to lethargy, and dopamine, which fuels motivation and motor activity, drops. This combination reduces the drive to continue pushing, while reduced corticospinal drive makes muscles less responsive. This feedback loop means both your body and mind feel drained. Intense activities requiring maximum effort trigger these chemical shifts quickly. Full CNS recovery can take 2 to 3 days, with rest between intense sessions helping you reset. So here are some recovery strategies. Rest based on intensity. Higher intensity sessions, heavy lift sprints, need more rests. You can also rotate focus areas. Alternate muscle groups or focus on lighter work like mobility or cardio. And finally, pay attention to your mental state. If you're mentally drained or lacking motivation, it's likely your CNS needs more recovery time. Now, let's jump into the final section: speed and tempo in your lifts. A study showed that lifting the bar with maximum speed in every rep can double your strength gains. As mentioned earlier, the body recruits fast twitch fibers for power movements. But at the start of the movement, the body uses slow twitch fibers. It only recruits larger, stronger fast twitch fiber as more force is required. This is according to the Henman size principle.
To produce more force, your body recruits more muscle fibers. Force equals mass x acceleration, so lifting something faster means producing more force. Therefore, lifting faster recruits more muscle fibers. But does getting stronger by lifting heavy weights make you faster at moving lighter objects? Yes, but only up to a point. Past that, the carryover from lifting heavy may diminish. This is where specific force training comes in. It's a training for specific movements, muscles, and velocities. We'll talk more about specific force in a future video. Speed during the concentric phase of the movements, meaning the part where you lift the weights, is key. The eccentric phase, when you lower the weights, uses different mechanics and works best at slower speeds. High-speed eccentric movements can stress joints and connective tissue, so it's better to use controlled tempos for this phase. That wraps up today's discussion on strength training. If you find it useful, check out the studies link in the description and feel free to share your thoughts or suggest other topics you'd like to explore. Stay strong, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.